evening, this is Sunday Express and so much in store for you, including where we at from midnight tonight when it comes to fuel prices. This will be coming up in the course of Sunday Express. But first things first, let's have a look at the highlights.
In these difficult times, we stand with the community and remain committed to uncovering the truth and bringing those responsible to justice.
Wale wote ambao wameua Wakenya mpaka wawekwe ndani washtakiwe.
The hunt for truth. Police call for calm amid discovery of more bodies at a quarry in Mukuru slums.
Hii transformation ya Kenya tunajaribu kuizalisha, ndio mnaona iko msukosuko kidogo, lakini saa ile mtoto amepatikana, si mambo inakuwa sawa sawa na furaha inakuwa tele. Kwa hivyo msikuwe na wasiwasi.
Seeking a united front, President Ruto rallies Kenyans to use the present challenges as a springboard to better fortunes. And a dark day in America. Donald Trump survives an assassination attempt as the country unites to condemn political violence. Good evening, I'm Regina, Manyara, and this is Sunday Express. My colleague on sign language is none other than Byron Abuli. President William Ruto has said the current difficult moments facing the country is ahead of a new cabinet will assist in attaining the nation and the transformation it deeply needs. Now, the president, who spoke at AIPCA Church in Manyara County, also warned against the return of illicit liquor in the Kenyan market. The president's remarks on the war on illicit liquor come a day after Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua warned of internal sabotage.
In a show of unity, President William Ruto and Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua together graced Sunday service at the PCA Church in Daragwa, Nyandarua County in the Mount Kenya region. Ahead of naming a new cabinet, the president said the current difficult state of affairs signified a rebirth and a transformation of the nation.
Nyinyi mnajua, kwanza nyinyi wa mama, mnajua saa ya kuzaa mtoto si rahisi. Iko maneno hapo. Ndio hii transformation ya Kenya tunajaribu kuizalisha, ndio mnaona iko msukosuko kidogo, lakini saa ile mtoto amepatikana, si mambo inakuwa sawa sawa na furaha inakuwa tele.
The deputy president urged the president to seize the golden chance to craft a government with people's interests at heart.
Kiongozi anaweza kuwa na bidii sana vile uko na bidii. Kwa sababu mimi nikiwa msaidizi wako nina ushuhuda ya kwamba uko na bidii sana. Lakini ukikosa timu nzuri ya kukushikilia na kukusaidia, rais, utapata matatizo.
Si mimi nimefungua ukurasa mpya. Sasa mimi nitapanga kabisa. Hii serikali iko hapa mbele. Mniombe. Ndio nipange kabisa, nipate wafanyikazi watakao nisaidia kutimiza ahadi ambazo tuliwekeana mimi na nyinyi.
Responding to Gachagua's plea to pronounce himself on war against drugs and illicit brews, the president directed the police and the regional administration to be on high alert and curb the menace.
Nimefanya mabadiliko pale kwa polisi. Nihakikishe ya kwamba hakuna ofisa mwingine tena ataruhusu pombe haramu iuzwe, watoto wetu wahangaike, watoto wetu wakose namna, watoto wetu waishi kwa maisha mabovu ati kwa sababu ya biashara ya watu wachache.
Gachagua had claimed people sitting in government were out to sabotage his pet project and were facilitating the return of the killer brews in the Mount Kenya region and the country at large.
The way to help our president is to come here and listen to what people are saying and then go and inform him what the people are saying. Musikae Nairobi kwa mikutano ya usiku na hamkuji hapa ground kuchukua report ya wananchi. Na wananchi, rais, wanasema wataki pombe haramu irudi katika area hii. And that is the truth. Na sisi tutakaa hapo.
The president warned those benefiting from distributing the illicit liquor at the expense of suffering youth will be dealt with firmly. Give us Manyara, Sunday Express.
Now, the number of bodies recovered from a quarry in Kuru slums in Nairobi County has risen to 9 after one more body was discovered Sunday. Now, the exercise was, however, hampered by chaos as a crowd angered by the killings engaged police in running battles. Meanwhile, the acting Inspector General of Police, Douglas Kanga, has transferred all police officers from the nearby Quarry police station to avoid interference in the ongoing investigations into the killings.
This was the situation around Mukuru Quarry as one more body was retrieved in the third day of the exercise that began on Friday. A crowd milling in the area vented their anger at the police, pelting them with stones. Police responded by firing tear gas canisters to disperse them. The members of the public claimed the police would not be objective in the investigations.
Reports that we have received have confirmed that one body has been retrieved today. That body has already been taken away by the police. Unconfirmed reports say that there are about 3 others that are still in and around the quarry. As you can see, there are running battles between community members and the police. And the community members are saying they're not trusting the police with the bodies. And, they don't want the police to pick the bodies because they suspect there could be some cover-up.
But Acting Inspector General of Police Douglas Kanga assured the nation of their commitment to conduct a comprehensive probe.
We are committed to ensuring transparency throughout the post-mortem examination process by collaborating with the relevant stakeholders, including the media and the civil society.
To this end, the police station at the nearby police post have been relocated.
To ensure a fair and biased investigation, I have moved the officers from Kwale Police Station.
He appealed to the members of the public and civil society for their cooperation in the investigations, which he said would be complete in 21 days. Tilio Marco for Sunday Express.
In relation to that, political and religious leaders have accused the police and the National Intelligence Service of neglecting their duties after bodies were retrieved from a quarry in Mukuru Kwanjenga slum in Nairobi. The leaders have called for a thorough investigation into the deaths and bringing the perpetrators to book.
Azimio Party leader Raila Odinga on Sunday visited quarry dump site in Mukuru Kwanjenga slums where bodies were retrieved. While addressing the residents, Raila called for thorough investigations into the deaths.
Wale wote ambao wameua wa Kenya mpaka wawekwe ndani, washtakiwe. Wanakome ashtakiwe. Yule mwingine anaitwa Bungei ashikwe, ashtakiwe.
Raila spoke even as religious leaders accused the police of high-handedness in dealing with protesters.
That you have a nation that has a police service under whose watch people are either abducted or conned into cultic affairs, are killed systematically, butchered, and their bodies are piled like beef, put in sacks and dumped somewhere. Yet we have a police service.
The discovery of the bodies and the crackdown on youthful protesters come amid growing confusion over the fate of the proposed dialogue, which is expected to begin Monday.
No dialogue. Tunataka action. Taka nini?
Kasichana Masha, Sunday Express.
The Federal Bureau of Investigation has named a man who shot at Donald Trump during a campaign rally as Thomas Matthew Crooks. Crooks is alleged to have opened fire while the former United States president and presidential candidate was addressing a crowd in Butler, Pennsylvania, leaving 1 dead and 2 others hurt. Crooks was shot dead at the scene as investigations kicked off.
At approximately 6:15 p.m. Eastern Time on Saturday evening, multiple gunshots suddenly rang out in Butler, Pennsylvania, as former United States of America President and presidential candidate Donald Trump addressed a rally. Trump was shot in the ear in what is now being investigated as an assassination attempt. One of the rally attendees was killed in the shooting and 2 rally girls are critically injured, according to the Secret Service. The Federal Bureau of Investigation has named a 20-year-old man who shot at Donald Trump during the campaign rally as Thomas Matthew Crooks. Crooks was shot dead at the scene as investigations kick off. On his social media X platform, Trump confirmed to have been shot with a bullet that pierced the upper part of his right ear, as he condoled with the family of the spectator shot and sent commiserations to those injured. He said nothing is known at this time about the shooter, who is now dead. USA President Joe Biden said the country unites to condemn the shooting, as former President Barack Obama also castigated the shooting, saying there's no place for violence in politics.
There's no place in America for this kind of violence. It's sick. It's sick. It's one of the reasons why we have to unite this country. We cannot allow for this to be happening. We cannot be like this. We cannot condone this.
The head of Secret Service, Anthony Guglielmi, confirmed that the Secret Service has implemented protective measures for Trump as investigations kick off. The incident occurred only 2 days before the Republican National Convention, scheduled to kick off in Milwaukee, Wisconsin on Monday, during which Trump is expected to be formally nominated as the party's presidential candidate for the 5th of November elections. Serafina Robi for Sunday Express.
Back home, the government has given the green light to 13 manufacturers and distillers of second-generation alcohol to resume operations, this bringing to 15 the total number of manufacturers and distillers of the second-generation brew currently allowed to operate in the country. Now, on March 6th last year, the government announced a 25-point enforcement program for suppression of the manufacture, sale, distribution and consumption of illicit alcohol, narcotic drugs and psychotropic substances in the country.
During the period of enforcement, the sought to ensure compliance of establishment with security, safety, health, labour, environmental and other standards as defined in relevant national laws. Only 2 of the 29 active manufacturers and distillers of second-generation alcohol vetted were found to be fully compliant. The licensing of 13 alcohol manufacturers and distillers followed a revetting exercise involving 22 out of the 27 dealers that had failed the earlier test. 13 alcohol firms passed the rigorous testing during the revetting exercise. 5 manufacturers and distillers did not inform the vetting team of their compliance status within the 21-day notice issued to them and were not involved in the May revetting exercise. The 9 alcohol manufacturers and distillers found to have not fully complied with the requirements have been informed of their shortcomings and have been asked to address them. The vetting process was carried out by a multi-agency team led by the State Department for Internal Security and National Administration. Yusufar reporting for Sunday Express.
It was jubilation in Tigoni, Limuru, Kiambu County during a second wedding of a reformed alcoholic under the Boy Child program run by the spouse of Deputy President, Pastor Dorcas Rigathi. Now our reporter Samson Otieno has the details of this story.
John Mwangi and Mary Njeri were joined in holy matrimony in Tigoni before a host of guests, among them Pastor Dorcas Rigathi. John lost his twin brother to alcoholism after a drinking spree in 2022 before he made the decision to quit alcohol and successfully underwent a rehabilitation program.
Maana wakati huo alikuwa analewa sana. Wakati ulipomwombea kuna nguvu ilimshukia.
Speaking during the colorful wedding, Pastor Dorcas lauded Mwangi for his decision, urging him to be an ambassador in the fight against alcoholism, drugs and substance abuse in society, calling on women to be at the forefront in the fight against alcoholism, drugs and substance abuse.
Tumefanya kazi sana na kanisa na wachungaji, sio tu wa Kristo mpaka wengine Waislamu, kwa sababu hii pombe imekuwa ikitatiza kila mtu.
Nakada CEO Dr. Anthony Omerikwa said the efforts by Pastor Dorcas to help the boy child from alcoholism, drugs and substance abuse are bearing fruits in many parts of the country.
This is a realization of the efforts to save the boy child, and this is a true testimony of the efforts that Your Excellency are putting in and what we are trying to do for our young people.
Pastor Dorcas has been championing a boy child program that involves rehabilitation and job placement of those in addiction in various parts of the country.
Now that takes us to a fast break on Sunday Express, and as we break is that come midnight tonight, the cost of super petrol, diesel and kerosene has decreased on average by a shilling per litre. Details will be coming up as we continue with Sunday Express. Do not go away, we'll be right back.
Kwa star 570 hash tunakupa nafasi ya kuchomoka na this brand new Mazda Demio.
Enjoy a beautiful teen semi-leather interior, low mileage, touchscreen and a reverse cam, fuel-efficient 1300cc engine, great for personal use and business.
Ukitaka kujishindia gari hili, kucheza ni rahisi sana. Chukua simu yako, bonyeza star 570 hash, chagua option number 4, kisha unajiunga na draw. Kumbuka kucheza mara kadhaa because the more you play, the higher chances of wewe kuwa mshindi.
Gari ya pili ni yako. Ni yako.
Hii Julai, jishindie Demio na Loto Moto. Tucheze, tusaidie na tushinde.
Technology has become a crucial part of our society. Without technological advancements, so much of our everyday lives would be drastically different. As technology develops, it strives to fulfill the changing needs of society. This means that technology exists to help us achieve the things that we wouldn't be able to achieve without it. Take on Tech looks at the advantages and downside of technological innovation in a world that is becoming increasingly dependent on new digital technologies. Every Monday at 10:30 p.m.
Hey girl, you're killing it today. Going from being the killing who I will never kill. What are you talking about?
Kamene, she means you're dressed really nicely. Kwani, what's the occasion?
You should carry it to my hammer today. I would have utilized it on you.
I hope you studied well.
Of course, yes. Do you think I'm stupid?
Should I spill it out? You know you are.
And if then, why can't you just another partnership?
Oh my God, how I wish I can.
Hey, as if you know what it means to be a friend.
And that is the problem with you women. Why is it so hard for you people to move on?
Clearly, I did. Like it never happened.
Good evening once again. I'm Regina Manyara. This is Sunday Express, and as we took that break, there is the fuel review, given that it is the 14th. So currently, from midnight tonight, a litre of super petrol will be retailing at 188 shillings and 84 cents, while diesel is going to be retailing at 171 shillings and 60 cents, while kerosene is going to be retailing at 161 shillings and 75 cents. This is going to be in place for the next 30 days going forward. So further details, you can expect further details in our course of our bulletin, especially tomorrow as the business desk unpacks that for you. Now, Kenya Wildlife Service officers have arrested 11 suspected poachers who are in possession of 100 kilograms of game meat in Kajiado Central Sub-County. Now, the suspects, who were currently being held at the Namanga police station awaiting arraignment on Monday, have been accused of consuming and selling game meat in the nearby shopping centers. The KWS officers, who acted on a tip-off, ambushed the suspects at Kabogo's farm in Mailitisa, where they worked as farmhands.
So sisi kama shirika la huduma kwa nyama pori, yani Kenya Wildlife Service, tuko na jukumu ya kulinda na kuhifadhi wanyama, na hawa wenye tuliwashika washukiwa tutawapeleka kotini.
Sisi officer wa National Government Administration
tutaendelea kuwaelimisha wananchi wetu ambao wanaishi mashinani, iwapo wanaweza kuona wananchi wengine ambao wanajihusisha kwa jambo kama aina hiyo, wanaripoti na sisi tunaweza kutake action.
Program has been launched in Machakos County to improve performance in subjects perceived to be difficult for learners in secondary school. Steered by university students from various institutions, the learners are being mentored to develop a positive attitude towards science and mathematics-related subjects to improve their performance in the national exams. The program also tackled career guidance, where learners shared insights about various career paths, set career goals, and gained advice on how to achieve them.
Today we had visitors who are students, undergraduate students from different universities in our country. They have come to our school today. They have spoken to our students about several things like girl-boy relationship and the effects, drug and substance abuse, how to balance their subjects, how to believe in themselves. They can go to university, and in most cases, they have interacted with the students in such a way that they could ask them questions, because we even told them we would wish them to come more and more so that we can get to build our students, because we know they are able to go to university, they can be better people than they have ever been.
We have benefited a lot from them, and we can encourage our school principal to call them again to give us guidance and counsel.
On the counties now, residents of Gitugi Ward, Mathioya constituency in Murang'a County have decried reallocation of a 40 million funding for the last mile water project to the purchase of water tanks for schools in the constituency. Details of this and our stories from across the counties.
According to Gitugi Ward residents, the project would have supplied clean water to their homes.
Wanavijiji cha maana walikuwa wanatafuta sana ni hii maji, na tukapata maji na pesa zikapeanwa. Sasa chenye kinatusubua ni kuona ati MP anataka kuzuia hii project juu sio watu wake wanafanya hii kazi.
Elsewhere in Bungoma County, church leaders have urged elected leaders to address matters affecting the young generation in the wake of threats by Gen Z to storm Busia and Bungoma County governors' offices.
The more people will continue to demonstrate, the more Gen demonstrate, tutakuwa na financial constraint, kutaenda kuwa na insecurities in the country. Kutakuwa na a lot of disarray, watu watakuwa in unity, and vitu mingi zitaharibika. So let the government look for a wiser way to end this thing.
Meanwhile, leaders in Busia County want the county government to address the lack of medicines at the county referral hospital.
So many bad things are happening in the county, but you are not pointing it out. Sasa hivi sio ukipata shida uenda hapa referral hospital, utapata dawa. Utapata dawa kweli. Lakini unasikia milioni 40 zimetumika sijui kulipea nini? Sasa sisi tumejenga 40 million, how do you repair a building that exists?
Ena district, ena Tananga, Alhamisi na Ijumaa. Uangalie tu vile hizi mochari zimenoga watu. Watu wanakufa kwa sababu hatuna hata emergency. Tunaita Busia referral. Hii ni referral.
On education, the Board of Management and parents of Isiolo Boys High School in Isiolo County have barred the newly appointed principal from accessing the office, accusing him of irresponsibility and poor academic performance at his previous schools.
Yeye aendelee vizuri kwa masuala ile anakaanga, anaenda shule fulani anafunguzwa katika kaunti ya Kenya, anafunguzwa. Kwa hivyo sisi ndio tunaletewa reject. Tumekataa hiyo reject.
Kindly don't be misused, because we don't allow that. Otherwise the board is assertive. We stand our grounds. We don't want Barack on this school. Kindly take him elsewhere. And secondly, stop destabilizing our school.
And Homa Bay County government has assured residents that it will repair over 260 kilometers of roads that were destroyed by the recent floods once the flood waters recede.
As you are aware, most of our networks are maram, gravel roads, so they may not have been in a position to sustain the heavy rains that we experienced. So a number of them were affected. So we have over 200 kilometers that were affected by the floods. And this one also cuts across the wards, all the 40 wards.
Now, victims of the 2006 About Land Defense Force atrocities in Mount Elgon, Bungoma County have faulted the national government as well as the county government of Bungoma for allegedly failing to compensate them for injuries and loss to property, as well as loss of loved ones during the skirmishes. The victims are currently wallowing in abject poverty, as well as healing the scars of the aftermath of the violence that left 600 dead. Timothy Kipnusu was in Mount Elgon and files the following report, meeting victims who are coping with life 18 years later.
Our journey to Mount Elgon in Bungoma County from the capital Nairobi took almost 6 hours. The good serenity and the heavy vegetation in the area is an evidence of fertile land. One could not imagine that this locality was an epicenter of a deadly civil strife orchestrated by the Sabot Land Defense Force 18 years ago. We first wanted to understand what really caused the mayhem, where the militia group is accused of killing more than 600 people and of committing a number of atrocities including murder, torture, rape, theft and destruction of property. A veteran politician in Mount Elgon, Moses Mokoit, reveals to us how the animosity began and escalated into violence that was beyond imagination.
In 2005, we had a referendum. And that referendum, I think you know, it was between the Ndizi and the Chungwa. It went as far as deeply involving our leaders. And especially so in Mount Elgon, it involved area MP then. Mr. John Serut was in the Ndizi. And that time, Mount Elgon was in the Chungwa. Things degenerated into chaos because our leadership then was not quite sensitive in making sure that there is peace in Mount Elgon. Area MP, he said that if we never supported the Ndizi, the people in Chebuk will have it rough.
Our crew also paid a courtesy call to former councillor in Sasuri Ward, Nathan Wasama, and who happens to be the brother of the then most wanted and dangerous criminal, the late Wycliffe Matakwei Kirui Komon, the SLDF deputy commander.
The 3 most wanted persons in Mount Elgon, I was among them. Na hii ambayo kusema most wanted, sikuwa najua tena most wanted ni kufanya nini. Sikushikwa, ni kupikwa risasi. Nikapitia mchucho hiyo yote, mpaka mwisho ushindi ukapatikana, nimetoka nje.
Wasama revealed that what began as an elders and area leaders meeting as well as locals to divide land in Chebuk turned tragic and chaotic.
Sisi kama viongozi wakati huo tukiwa councillors tukasema the best system ambayo ingeweza kutumika, maana watu umeishi kwa muda mrefu tangu 1972. Tukasema watumie ile inaitwa land adjudication system.
It emerged that the bone of contention was between the supporters of the then Member of Parliament John Serut and his political rival and competitor Fred Kapondi.
So wakasema the only option ambayo tutatumia ni land balloting system. So hiyo kitu ilikuja ikaharibu.
The supporters of different factions, having realized that the land in question is not enough for all of them, they decided to grab and guard it by force, resulting to violence.
Wakati ya shamba sasa land balloting system na Matwaga alikuwa na shamba ya kutosha, ikawa vigumu. Matwaga akasema hapana, na tayari alikuwa amenunuliwa bunduki, alikuwa na bunduki 7 ambaye Serut alikuwa amejipanga in case of anything 2007.
Zacchaeus Chepkurui, who had his ears chopped, narrates that fateful day when he came face to face with the militia.
Wanaonyesha wewe kwanza kisu hapa, wengine anasema hapana hapo. Sasa umenyamasia, sasa una chochote ya kusema.
His wife disappeared without a trace.
Nilikuwa na bibi yangu mdogo. Hiyo bibi alitoroka kwa sababu ya shauri ya bwana hakuna. Hata ulikuwa nafikiria mimi nilikuwa nimekufia nje.
Martin Diwa from Kaptaboy village was also a victim of the SLDF militia group.
Wanakukanyaga umaje tu umeangalia tu hivi. Hakuna mahali unasema ati wewe.
Other victims who spoke to KBC Channel 1 gave a similar horrifying account that left them destitute.
Mahali wanakupika, wanakutembelea kutoka hapa mpaka kwa mguu, kutembelea tu huku. Ukitazama chini wanatembelea kwa mgongo mpaka kwa kichwa namna hiyo tu.
Ni kama pengine serikali unaweza fikiria sisi naye hata kuinama hii mkongo yangu. Ndio mara nilikanyakwa zaidi.
Hii alama alikata na kisu.
The magnitude of the violence will catch the attention of the government, which deployed the military to the area. Many innocent lives were lost during the operation.
I happen to be lucky to meet one of the victims who lost her husband during the melee to tell us what really happened.
Kwa mwendo wa saa 7. Msee tulikuwa na msee hapa. Alikuwa anatoka factory, akaingia kwa poma lake. Kidogo mimi naona watu wakakuja wengi na walikuwa jeshi. Mimi nilikuwa nimejificha mahali na niliona kila kitu yenye ilikuwa inafanyika. Walikuwa wanaambia hebu onyesha hiyo bunduku 6 yenye ndugu yako alikuwa nazo. Lakini sasa mzee yangu aliweza kuambia mimi sijui na sijui maneno ya mabunduki. Kama serikali ni wazuri wanionyeshe penye walitupa mzee yangu.
When the military came in, it did what it did. If a lasting solution will not be arrived at, to see the plight of those people who are evicted and are living very miserable lives outside there, you may not know what will happen next.
A former councillor in Chongeiwo Ward, Mzee Job Kipnusu Kiboi, narrates how he was implicated in the violence.
Ukaniati wewe mzee, wewe ndio unaleta wajambazi hapa. Sema hapana, mimi niko kwangu. Hapana. Basi ndio wakatuweka kwa Land Rover tukakuja nao. Fika tukatolewa manguo tukakaa kwa kiwanja tu. Huyu kijana yangu alikuwa ng'ambo, alichukua habari ya kwamba baba yako ameshikwa. Alipika sasa baba amechukulia huko kwa kambi, alipika nani? Alifanya makosa hii kweli? Sisi hatumjui. Wakasema hatumjui. Nani huyo? Wakasema Job Kipnusu. Hako kwa watu wale tulishika huko. Hako kwa wao. Yeye nimekaa na mimi. Wewe uko mtoto ng'ambo. Mtoto wangu alisoma akaenda ng'ambo. Ndio nilikuwa nawaambia nyinyi waachilie sisi twende tuongee na raia wasifanye fujo.
Mzee Kipnusu says the military tagged him as a wanted man.
Wakuja kwangu kwa nyumba kabisa. Na mimi nimelala. Mama naye amelala. Sasa watu napita nje. Sasa mama anasema kitu gani, ng'ombe nakanyika nini ama nini? Akatoka nje. Bila atoka nje akamkamata akasema mama anaenda wapi? Wewe ndio unaficha wezi.
Area leaders led by Chesikaki member of County Assembly Jacob Sero, however, said the area is quite calm, even as he urged the youth to be peace ambassadors.
Wakati sehemu ya Chesikaki, sehemu ya Mount Elgon iko cool. Maneno ya ukora kama ya wakati imeisha na vijana wanaendelea na kazi zao na ya maendeleo ya kulima na biashara.
It is 18 years of seeking justice. At the same time, 18 years since the ghost of Sabaot Land Defense Force visited them. Long it may appear, but the torture and the humiliation they went through in the hands of the hostile and cruel force, as well as the security agencies, is unbearable. Now, they are calling on the national government as well as the county government to intervene for them to get justice. Timothy Kipnusu for Channel 1 News, Mount Elgon constituency, Bungoma County.
Thank you, Kipnusu, for that particular report highlighting the lives, or rather how these victims are actually coping 18 years, and we hope that justice will be served. Well, it's been a while, 18 years from 2006, but I'm sure the government will do what it needs to do. Now we take a quick breather, and just to remind you, tonight we have the Euros finale. Who will carry the day? Will it be England or will it be Spain? Is it coming home or not? Well, Okumu is on the other side of the studio, is going to be bringing us up to speed with what is happening in the sporting arena. Do stay right here.
Unajua, token mita yako inahitaji system update. Ni rahisi na ni free. Ukipata ujumbe kutoka Kenya Power, yani SMS, weka kodi ya kwanza kureset, alafu weke kodi ya pili kuupdate ili token mita yako iendelee kufanya kazi kama kawaida. Update token mita yako. Ujumbe huu umeletwa kwako na Kenya Power and Lighting Company.
Mbona unaweka mdomo hii?
Madhi amekuwa mtu mwingine leo, sinjai muona akikaa anakaa kama musikali wa traffic.
Mama kwa hebu acha tuelewane tabata na kusitu.
Kazi yako ni kuongea tu na simu, kuongea na simu.
Wewe si sasa kwa pedia mganga kelele.
Wewe ndio kitu tunasema Madhi sasa hii amewaka, utadhani ni trap.
Hata wake moto yani waya boda.
Nisaidie na namba. Stop. Mimi naomba namba niweze kulipa.
Okay. Nasikia la.
Kuja hapa.
Lezi mimi ni muzijana.
Hapa
Wananifurusha hapa, mimi nimelelewa hapa. Na wewe nani alikwambia kwamba hii nyumba ni ya babako?
Hii ni nyumba ya kiongozi na wewe si kiongozi.
Mpike mjukuu wako nyanya.
Una mashani ni mpenzi wangu?
Tumenita nini?
Hiyo ni roho yake mbaya. Kwani wewe ni mtu wa kando? Wewe si ni ndugu yake tu pekee uliye naye?
Fanya ndugu yangu, lakini ukao ukijua mimi ninaponea kwenye tundu ya sindano.
Kama ni Kalume tare nishakuachia. Mimi niache hivi. Mkosa fadhila wewe. Una haya wala pia vibaya hujui.
And thank you for staying with Sunday Express. It is time for the sports with me, Bernard Okumu. And with just 12 days to the 33rd Olympic Games, Team Kenya intensified its training in Manyara, southern France. The Olympic Games are scheduled 26th of July to 11th of August in Paris, France. KBC Channel 1 is set to broadcast the Games live. The Kenyan contingent holding their training in Manyara consists of sprinters, Malkia strikers, National Rugby Sevens team, and javelins Julius Yego. Kenya will be out to improve on its previous showing at the Games in Tokyo, where it won 10 medals, which included 4 gold, 4 silver, and 2 bronze. In Manyara, Kenya is using the training camp to get in shape ahead of the Games.
For me, it's an achievement to be here, considering the challenges that I've been through. Of course, it's not easy coming back from a career-threatening injury of my kind that I had, but being able to reach this far, it means that it is satisfying for me because my efforts, my hard work, patience, and the spirit of never giving up hasn't gone to our waste.
I'd say it's a different competing pool in most areas, but it's the same thing. Swimming wherever you do it, it's one sport, just different areas of doing it, different country and place. So it's the same for me.
At the Paris Olympic Games, Kenya will be represented in 6 disciplines, including athletics, rugby sevens, volleyball, judo, swimming, and fencing. And we wish Team Kenya all the best when the games begin in 12 days. Moving on, Sofapaka FC have retained their Premier League status after beating Naivas 1-0 in their second leg match of the relegation and promotion playoff play today at Dandora Stadium here in Nairobi. Sofapaka won the two legs with an aggregate score of 2-0 and will feature in the KPL, while Naivas will remain in the second tier, the NSL. Sofapaka, 2009 Premier League champions, finished 16th during the 2023-2024 Football Kenya Federation Premier League season, while Naivas wound up third in the National Super League. Nzoia Sugar and Muhoroni Youth were relegated from the Premier League, while Mara Sugar and Mathare United earned promotion after finishing in top two positions in NSL.
And that's what the boys have done, and I'm happy for the game today. Kwa chance saba tunatufungia hata moja. Opponent wetu bibi chance mbili ama wanakosa. Ikifika kwa makosa yetu watupiga kiboko tunaulia. Wanasema tumrudi nationwide juu ya makosa zetu, mbili ya kosa kufunga na kupeana bao. Hivyo tulicheza nationwide.
And Kaimurunya Boys and St. Anne's Musoli Girls baseball teams are the winners of the second Kenya Koshen annual baseball tournament played at the Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology. Now the two-day event attracted 8 teams drawn from various regions in the country.
Nkaimurunya kicked off the game on high, making 3 runs in the early minutes as friend school Kongoni offered little training into the breather. Kongoni pulled 1 run as they intensified their comeback efforts, but Nkaimurunya held seal in their victory in stoppage time. In the women's category, St. Hans Musoli girls beat Nkaimurunya girls 14-13 in a tightly contested final at the same venue.
If they continue to make an effort to spread out the baseball, then I think there are many talent players in Kenya who don't know baseball. So in the future, Kenya has the big potential.
The two-day event attracted 8 teams from various regions across the country.
To all Kenya baseball fans, we welcome you on 10th and 11th at the Nazarene University. Come and support our boys, come and support our girls. Let us see where we can push Kenya to the next level.
After the completion of the Baseball 9 National High School Championships, Shift now focuses to the Baseball 5 East African region, slated for next month at the Nazarene University. For Sunday Express, I'm Daniel Mwendwa.
And thank you, Dan Mwenda, for that report. Elsewhere, Crispino Odhiambo alias Kenya One emerged victorious in the Nairobi Casino Cheka Soweto Draw tournament held in Nairobi.
It is high time the ministry had a different look at the sport, and just like any other indoor sport, I think checkers, that is both ordinary and casino, deserve recognition and perhaps financial support.
Kenya One amekuwa Italy na ameenda Turkey pia, but bado sisi ndio tunafanya hiyo jukumu, tunamchangia aweze kwenda kucheza, so tunangependa government intervene na iweze kuwezesha wachezaji waende kwa nje.
Tuko like 5 players wengine hata visa fee pekee yake bado hawajapata, bado wanajaribu kuraise na hizo ticket zote wanajaribu kuraise bado, so bado hatujakuwa set. So kama tunaweza pata ma sponsors, well and good, pia tutashukuru sana.
And over 23,000 runners are expected to participate in this year's Standard Chartered Nairobi Marathon scheduled October 27th. The organizers of the annual race Sunday held a warm-up run, which attracted hundreds of race enthusiasts at Tatu City in Kiambu County. Over 23,000 runners are expected to grace the 21st edition of the Nairobi Standard Chartered race. The participants are set to take part in the full marathon, half marathon, 10-kilometer run, as well as the family 5-kilometer fun run. The organizers are targeting to raise 46 million shillings in this year's edition, with the funds being channeled to Seeing is Believing initiative.
event is the 21st edition of the Standard Chartered Nairobi Marathon, and we are very excited. We are looking to register 23,000 runners, and we'll have a number of races in the marathon.
We have proved and we have seen, we have tested that we not only work well together to bring this together, but the values are very, very seamless in terms of what they are about, in terms of engaging the community, and not just the community, but this sport of athletics.
Meanwhile, football stakeholders in Mombasa calling on East Africa Legislative Assembly Member of Parliament Suleiman Shabal not to abandon Mombasa Football Club, whose players were selected at a tournament sponsored by the legislator 2 years ago.
Now it's almost 1 year. Imechukua almost 1 year. Na ile cream team paka leo tunasumbuliwa sana. Na nimejaribu my level best ni kumtafuta kwa simu, simpati.
Kama player nilikuwa na maplayer wenzangu wale wengine wadogo wenye kuwa wananiangalia mimi. Cause hii ilikuwa changamoto, although alikuwa ananisukuma, wewe ulituambia hivi na hivi. Mbona sasa kapteni imekuwa hivi? Kaambia bana, sisi bana kama maplayer sitofanya kazi yetu, lakini kuna viongozi.
A total of 25 players were picked up to form the club, which was set to begin their journey in the lower tier with the hope of rising up the league tiers and exposing the massive talent in Mombasa. And across the borders now, where England and Spain will meet in the Euro 2024 final tonight in Berlin, marking the end of a month-long tournament in Germany. It will be a second consecutive final for England after losing to Italy in the 2020 final, while Spain are seeking their first European title since 2012.
England will look to end a 58-year wait for a major tournament triumph when they face Spain on Sunday night in the Euro 2024 final in Berlin. Gareth Southgate guided London to the Euro 2020 final at Wembley, only for Italy to win 3-2 on penalties after the game ended 1-1 after extra time. Several players who appeared in that final are likely to start on Sunday, including goalkeeper Jordan Pickford, defenders Kyle Walker and John Stones, midfielder Declan Rice and captain Harry Kane. Spain have been the team of the tournament, sweeping past their opponents to reach their 5th European final. One of their stars at Euro 2024 has been winger Lamine Yamal, who turned 17 on Saturday. The Barcelona star started 5 games and became the youngest scorer at the major tournament when he scored in the 2-1 semi-final win over France. Arsenal goalkeeper David Raya is expected to start the final on the bench. Spain have had an extra day to prepare for the final after beating France on Tuesday.
And definitely on that Euro note, could be bringing the cup to sports tonight. But Ray, it's a big night for European football lovers and as well as those who support England or Spain. It is the Euro 2024 final.
Indeed. Now, I'm split. Do we go with the newbie, so to speak, that is Spain, or does it go home finally? Are we bringing it home finally, you know, for England?
To London? I mean, big questions. You say that the newbies, actually, Spain have them on they're called the flying wingers, you know. Lamine Yamal, the 16-year-old who turned 17 yesterday, he's been a menace to defenders in this particular tournament. And also the other side, we have Nico Williams. So these two players that for England to take it home to London, they need to contain them, you know. So Akina Luke Shaw and the rest, Jude Bellingham, they have to be top of their form today. And Gary Southgate, the head coach for England, he has to pull all the tricks from his sleeve
to actually ensure that it gets home, if it indeed should get home.
Yes, big. It will be their biggest title, maybe in 58 years, while Spain are looking for it. Missed it since 2012, so England want it more, right?
Yes.
And we cannot tell, yes.
Let's go with England, you know, let's support England. I'm supporting England. I don't know about you. Are you?
I'll put my money on England as well tonight. Yes.
So, tufunge hapa.
Yeah.
Kimbie tukone mpira.
Yeah, and also remember that KBC has the exclusive rights for the forthcoming Olympics in 12 days. That's just a week and some days, right?
Yes.
So better stay glued on Channel 1.
As they say, Channel 1 or KBC is indeed your true sports partner. And that puts a cap on Matters Sunday Express tonight. I'm Regina Manyara for the Euros. May the best team win, but I'm rooting for England.
Yes, indeed. Also, my man, I'll put it on England. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Bernardo Kumu.
On KBC Channel 1, we are a TV station like no other. Get a taste of the best in entertainment.
Yes, indeed.
Feel the passion.
Will you promise me?
I swear that you will never lose me. I can't get married to you.
I'm sure you knew about it. That's why you're making fun of me.
Experience the drama.
Get out.
Who is the man in this one? And the laughter.
Hii wigi umevaa kichwani. Kile wakati tulikuwa tunaapishwa tunapewa mheshimiwa.
Move to the beat.
We are live from Broadcasting House.
And get informed on the latest happenings. KBC Channel 1.
Wow. Wow. Yeah!
We are the full package.
Oh, yes.
And Kenya's watching.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Mbona unaweka mdomo hii?
Madhi amekuwa mtu mwingine leo, sinjai muona akikaa ikiwa anakaa kama musikali wa traffic.
Mama kwa hebu acha tuelewane tabata na kusii tu.
Kazi yako ni kuongea tu na simu, kuongea na simu.
Ha, wewe sio kukopegia mganga kelele.
Huyu hiki tunasema madhi sasa hii amewaka, utadhani ni trap.
Hata wake moto yani ya boda.
Nisaidie na namba.
Stop.
Mimi naomba namba niweze kulipa.
Okay. Nasikia la.
Kuja hapa.
Ole, si mimi ni muzijana.
Haya bae.
Wananifurusha hapa, mimi nimelelewa hapa. Na wewe nani alikwambia kwamba hii nyumba ni ya babako?
Hii ni nyumba ya kiongozi na wewe si kiongozi.
Mpike mjukuu wako nyanya.
Una mashani ni mpenzi wangu?
Tumenita nini?
Hiyo ni roho yake mbaya. Kwani wewe ni mtu wa kando? Wewe si ni ndugu yake tu pekee uliye naye?
Fanya ndugu yangu, lakini ukae ukijua mimi ninaponea kwenye tundu ya sindano.
Kama ni Kalume tare nishakuachia. Mimi niache hivi hivi. Mkosa fadhila wewe. Huna haya wala pia vibaya hujui.
Hey girl, you're killing it today. Going to from being the killing who will never kill. What are you talking about?
Kamene, she means you dress really nicely. Kwani, what's the occasion?
I wish I'd carried my hammer today. I would have utilized it on you.
I hope you studied well.
Of course, yes. Do you think I'm stupid?
Should I spill it out? You know you are.
And if then, why can't you choose another partnership?
Oh my God, how I wish I can.
Hey, as if you know what it means to be a friend.
And that is the problem with you women. Why is it so hard for you people to move on?
Clearly, I did. Like it never happened.
Technology has become a crucial part of our society. Without technological advancements, so much of our everyday lives would be drastically different. As technology develops, it strives to fulfill the changing needs of society. This means that technology exists to help us achieve the things that we wouldn't be able to achieve without it. Take on Tech looks at the advantage